Keep California cowgirls from vanishing.
Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show. Training our horses and miniature cows in ranch versatility. Penning Rusty and Suzi, our bull and heifer. Roping Rusty with Morgan horse, Semi. Training Eve to work over her haunches with a motor cow simulator. Training Eve on a cow roping simulator.
Sadie practices over the haunches with an ATV mechanical cow simulator.
Pulling slack. And Susie's coming my way because she feels the pressure behind her horns.
The goal here is to lead the heifers together with double yoke and pull tack on.
Seela and Suzi. Before we turn the camera on, we effortlessly got their tack on and their yoke on. And our objective today, a little sub-objective for the day, is fitting the chains. We've been walking around here, they're leading very nicely, but we cut some chains, and here they are, 4 of them. What we think is the right length to go from the yoke through the ring on the surcingle to the back of the heifer for a connection to a single tree. Now we're not going to try the single tree today. We're just going to measure to make sure that these chains are long enough to get to the single tree, because remember, they need a whole lot of desensitization to see that single tree go down on the ground behind them. They have tremendous peripheral vision, and it can spook them to see somebody back there bending down with this white clanky thing. So we're going to do that when we have a third person, and right now there's only Katie and I. But we think we can at least measure that these chains are the right length, or then at least know what we need to get further. Now, it seems like an easy task, but as I walk up to Suzi and Seela with these chains, they may get spooked. So first, I'm just going to ask Katie to hold the chain. We're not going to connect it. And then I'm going to stretch it to the length of the body and see if it were stretched, not even going through the rings, would it be the right length. So here we go. Katie is going to hold this. Okay, she might spook at it. Try to hold it where it would be connected to the yoke. Okay. And then through the rings, down here to the single tree. Boy, that looks perfect to me. Then I'd say this. It looks like we have control. Yeah. Let's connect. So what we're going to do is we have a clasp. Okay. All right, now she's going to feel this. And we're going to go through the ring here. She's going to feel that. It's making noise. Try to see the world the way the livestock that you're working with sees the world. That's the whole basic principle of natural livestock training. Not by force, but by seeing the world the way they see it and getting them to trust you. I'm just going to put these 3 chains down for now. It's all right. Good. Now we're going from the yoke, through the ring on the surcingle, through the back ring on the britchin, and notice the britchin for the first time has the crupper connected. Down to what will be a single tree right here. Now, my only concern, and I have this concern, can I step away, you think? I have this concern with my horses as well. If we go down to the single tree, then that chain is going to be down pretty far down Seela's back leg. And if she happens to step on or over the chain, is she going to spook? And then here we are connected through rings, connected to the yoke, and we're trying to quick release the chain, and sometimes it just doesn't work logically the way you think it will. And nevertheless, I don't know right now. I have the same thoughts about driving with my horses and connecting to a single tree on the ground. I want to keep the chain up until it's past the leg, and then it may come down. So I'm going to stop the camera for a minute, and it looks like everything's okay, right, Katie? Okay, and I'm going to look to see if there's something stiff I can use to wrap it around. You see how Seela's back leg on the left side just went forward because there's flies. Had she done that with her right leg, she might have stepped on the chain and gotten spooked. You know, there's never a PVC project around here where I throw out remnants. They're great arm extensions. This is, I believe, 3/4 inch PVC. Now I'm going to take it up to Seela so she sees it and doesn't get spooked by it. And I'm going to tell you what my creative mind is saying about how can we keep that chain up. And I may have to get some more hardware for it. So I'm going to put the camera a little bit closer so you can watch what I'm doing. We'll watch how Seela behaves. It's all right, Seela. It's okay. She's just chewing her cud, which is a good sign of relaxation. I'm letting her see this white PVC. It's all right, Seela. Now I'm very quietly, slowly, small steps, going to pick up the chain. It's all right, Seela. I have to take the clasp off. It's a carabiner just to get through this PVC. See how she lifted her back leg? She wasn't sure what was happening back there. That was natural for her to do. Put the carabiner back on. Slide the PVC closer to the ring. And what do you think? If I cut off that bulbous end, it'll go through the ring.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to get it to stay there.
That's right, and that's why we need to get some more hardware, like some bolt eyes, to get it to stay there, to connect it to the back of the britchin, the front of the britchin, which is on the back of the heifer, connected to the ring. And then let's see if this would work. Will this keep this up and out? If it were through the ring, and that, yes, it's gonna help. It's gonna help if the piece of PVC is a little bit longer. If the PVC can go, let's say, up to the ring and connect with a bolt eye and a clasp, then I think the problem will be solved. And why do I think this is a problem at all? Because, you know, I watch a lot of farming with horses, and very often I see those tug straps down by the back legs connecting to single trees. But I have seen it happen that a horse has stepped over the strap or the chain, gotten spooked. Even with quick releases, the quick releases couldn't be released fast enough to stop the spook. The spook continued for about 45 seconds, and then finally the horse stopped spooking because the horse became left-brained again. So even though I see farming horses very close with their back legs to tug straps and tug chains, I say to myself, I want to design it so that the chain or the strap is at least as high as where the leg connects to the hip, whether it be on a horse or a heifer. So we will be getting the materials we need, and by next session we're going to try it. But you see that our chain is long enough. I have plenty of PVC around here. We'll cut it to the right length. We'll get the bolt ties, and then we'll show you how we can pull the single tree with my two heifers in pairs using our double yoke that we made here at Minmore Farms. As a postscript, I'm going to let you watch the untacking, which may be eventful. The two heifers are working very well together. Katie was able to tack them up all by herself. There was some spooking, especially with the britchin, but with trust, Katie was still able to get the job done. We're letting you watch for a few minutes how she untacks them. And you get to see how cute they are together with their double yokes and their little miniature Zebu harness and britchin tack. They are incredibly wonderful animals, these mini Zebus. I've done shows explaining where they came from. I've done many a show showing you how I train them. And I'm just saying again that they're a wonderful kind of cow to have on a small property. We have 7 acres here. We give them plenty of place to graze, and because they're Zebus, they need warmth, so at night we provide propane heat by thermostat in their shelter. You see the restraint that Katie has to use, but that'll get better and better with time. We know that. Suzi is actually just ground tried now. She's not doing anything back there besides chewing her cud and waiting. Waiting for her turn. And there was a time where Suzi was just as jumpy as Seela on tacking up, but that was several years ago, and by repetition she's just fine on it. Now let's see what she says about her tack.
Okay.
She's just standing fine, chewing her cud. Suzi will not give us trouble with distrust.
Okay.
Maybe the hardest part is right now getting that britchin off. There you go. All right. And the surcingle, it's a piece of cake. And now you've seen us untack. Suzi on the left and Seela on the right. That's all for today. Sonia Sokolow, the Urban Cowgirl.
Similar to what we did to raise the horse's tug straps, we added some hardware to the back of the britchin so that the tug chains will not interfere with the movement of the back legs of Seela and Suzi.
Took us about 10 minutes to get all this tack on. They're still not willing to accept the britchin without a little bit of argument. We've got the double yoke on. Notice that we put some dog collars back here on the back of the britchin. And through those dog collars, we're going to put the chains that come up to the yoke, with the intention that those dog collars are going to keep the chains, we hope, from getting wrapped around the back legs of the Zebus. I did a similar trick with one of my Morgan mares, in a recent show, and it seemed to work, although we're going to double check it again tomorrow when we have enough helpers. During all of this tacking up with multiple different straps and harnesses and whatever, we always like to have a few extra helpers because we don't know what's going to spook the animals. So you're looking at closest to the camera, Seela. She seems to be okay. She's chewing her cud, seems to be relaxing. What I'm going to do is take the single tree, and right now we're only using one single tree. Eventually, I think what we're planning to do is have one shorter single tree for each Zebu, and then a longer single tree connecting the two shorter ones. We're aiming for that, but right now, just the single tree that we're used to using behind them, with the chains coming to their yoke on each side of each Zebu through the dog collars that we added on the back of the britchin. Will this work? We'll find out, because we have not rehearsed. We have not tried this before. We're trying it here on camera to show you what works and doesn't work here at Minmore Farms, training our livestock to be useful animals to help us do our farming. Here we go. It's all right. I talk to them all the time. They have real good peripheral vision. They'll see all of this happening behind them. It's all right, girls. It's all right, girls. I've got the chains ready to go, cut to size. It's all right, girls. They clank. I'm letting the Zebus hear it and see their chains that are welded, smooth, but strong. It's all right, girls. I'm choosing Suzi first because she's usually the most calm about things like this. Through the dog collar, you're not seeing it, but you can imagine, because there's a dog collar on Seela's, the back of Seela's britchin, to the single tree. We don't have an extra person there in case there's a spook. Not today, so we may not hook both chains up on each animal, maybe just the outside chain, just to see how each animal reacts to having the weight and the sound of the chain hooked to their yoke and attached through the dog collar to their britchin. Through the dog collar now on this side. One mistake. Should have also gone through the ring of this surcingle. Keep it out from under their front legs. Now through the dog collar to keep them out through the back legs. See what I mean now? She just picked up her foot. If that chain had been lowered down, her back foot would have possibly wrapped the chain, made a noise with the chain. She might have spooked, but I had it up high enough that I feel comfortable. I can connect. I'm going to go back here to Suzi's and put it through the front ring like I did on Seela's. Which ring is it on? Is it on this one? No, it's on the, yeah, on the bottom. Okay. I try to keep everything balanced. Now these are the other two chains. Maybe this session, but maybe next session when we have an extra person or we're more confident that the Zebus are going to be okay with all of this, they go on the inside of the two Zebus. Because there are places to hook them on the double yoke, and we have dog collars on the back of the britchin on both inside of the two Zebus. Now, Katie, so far they're both chewing their cud, they're looking okay. It's just you and me today. I'm going to pick this up. You know, I'm going to pick it up in a moment. First, I'm going to do this. I've got plenty of quick releases now. I'm going to go get a couple so that I can quickly release that single tree if I have to. So, to do that, put the quick release on. First, I'm going to put the chain away. It's going to make a little noise. I'm thinking about it. Okay, girls. They heard it, but they didn't spook. I'm going to disconnect this carabiner. See, basically, carabiners are easy to disconnect, but if the animal is dancing around, it may not be so easy. So instead, I'm using a quick release. The carabiner is going to the quick release, and then the quick release is going to go to the bow tie. And Seela is getting a little bit nervous about all of this. Oh, it's all right, girls. The chain is along Suzi's back right leg, so I'm very glad she's okay on it. Now I'm going to keep this up. Uh-oh. Oh, girls. Take the carabiner off the bolt. Aye. Put the carabiner on the quick release. Put the quick release on the bolt. Aye.
Seela's choking on something.
Seela's still kind of skinny and everything doesn't quite fit right. And she seems to be choking a little bit. Did she get a carrot in her mouth?
She might have.
Yeah, we had a carrot on the ground here. She might have grabbed it. Let's wait and see if she's okay. I'll turn off the camera and turn it back on and let you know. We've got to get the tack back on. Well, we got the tack back on. We're going to have to make a few extra holes on the straps that are keeping the britchin to the surcingle for Seela. The surcingle is still a little too big on her, and that's why the whole britchin fell off. But now we've got the chains back on. I've got the single tree in my hand, and as typical in Santa Cruz, it's starting to rain. It's spring. It's starting to rain without any warning, so we're just going to show you the very next step, which is taking the single tree, hooking it up to the quick releases that are on the backs of the chains, and then asking Suzi and Seela together in pair to take a few steps forward. That's all we want to do today. That's our interim success objective. We hope we'll be able to show you that it is successful. It's all right, girls. You see what Seela's doing with her back leg? We got to get her past that. She's trying to get rid of whatever it is she's feeling back there. With the dog collar, we've got the chain up pretty high, so we're not too worried about her getting hung up in it. It's all right, Seela. It's all right. Quick releases both on now. We're just going to stand here for a minute. We want them to feel. this tack, the weight of the chain. And we're going to ask for a couple of step up forward requests, just a couple. We hope that all will be smooth, and we'll call that our note of resolution for today.
Step up.
Step up. Step up. Step up, girls. Step up. Good girls.
Good.
Good girls. Quick release off. Single tree out of the way. Now I'm not going to remove the chain until Seela stops picking up her right leg, her right rear leg. You may not be seeing it because we have no camera operator today. Can you disconnect the chains? Okay, wait for a minute. Oh, you did barely see it because the camera did show you the backs of the Zebus. Let me tell you the most important lesson I learned today. When you're doing some kind of training like this, as small and as darling as the livestock is, have a third person, somebody to watch the camera and be there in case you get in trouble or need to pick something up. Because even quick releases aren't so quick to release if you don't have the right angle. Everything gets kind of complicated when it starts to rain. So the next time we work with the Zebus, we hope to start from this point and go a little bit further, but we'll have 3 people when we do it. And that's all for today. Sonia Sokolow.
Our cast of characters: Sadie and Eve, Sammy, Rusty and Susie, heifer calf Seela. For more information, www.cowgirlchannel.com.